There's a kind of silence inside you that isn't quiet at all. It hums, it pulses, it waits. Most men try to drown it out, with work, with noise, with chasing what never satisfies. But you're not here to chase. You're here to feel, to return, to remember what that pulse has been telling you all along. That your body is not a battlefield. It's a source of clarity, a source of strength. Stillness is not the absence of movement. It is the gathering of power. When you sit in stillness, not to escape, but to connect, you begin to feel the energy that's always been there. It's not dramatic. It doesn't shout, but it's steady, and it's yours. Breathing into your lower abdomen, you start to notice a shift. The mind slows, the body softens, but the energy grows stronger. This is where mastery begins, not with control, but with awareness. Your breath is not just a function. It's a compass. It tells you where you are, and it leads you to where you can go. In Taoist practice, the breath is sacred, not because of its sound, but because of what it opens. When you breathe into your belly, deep, deep, slow, grounded, you begin to unlock energy that was once trapped. You start to feel your body not as a tool, but as a source. The lower belly becomes alive, the spine becomes aware, the mind becomes still. This is not breathwork as performance. This is breathwork as presence. You were taught to move fast, to chase, to conquer. But the Tao teaches something else. It teaches you to notice. Awareness is what turns experience into power. Without awareness, your energy scatters. With awareness, it gathers and flows where you choose. When you bring attention to your breath, your body begins to awaken. When you bring attention to your energy, your life begins to shift. This practice is not about force. It's about sensitivity. It's about listening so closely, the body starts to trust you again. And when your body trusts you, it gives you access to strength that is calm and clarity that is quiet. Your breath is not just oxygen. It's attention. It's direction. It's the bridge between your awareness and your energy. Most men live disconnected from their breath. They breathe shallow, and they live shallow. But when you slow your breath, your whole life slows down in a powerful way. You begin to move from the inside out. You become less reactive, more intentional, more like a mountain, less like a leaf in the wind. In Taoist energy practice, the belly is not just the stomach. It is your center. It is your fire. The breath travels down to the belly. Because the belly is where transformation begins. It is where raw instinct becomes calm direction. This is the space you return to when the world tries to pull you apart. This is your anchor, and it is always with you. There is a kind of silence that isn't empty. It's full of answers, full of strength, full of truth. Men who fear silence often fear themselves, but when you lean into it, you begin to hear the deeper rhythm inside you. It's always been there, but the noise of the world makes you forget. The noise of distraction, of stimulation, of everything pulling you away from your inner compass. Energy is not a metaphor. It's a sensation, it's a pulse, it's a current, and it moves through you, whether you notice or not. But the moment you start to feel it, the game changes. You begin to participate. You begin to shape your experience, not just endure it. You stop chasing peak moments, and instead, you start creating a steady current of grounded vitality. Stillness is not weakness. Stillness is where strength is forged. The body doesn't always need more stimulation. Sometimes it needs presence. The man who can be still is not hiding. He's mastering his rhythm. He's becoming deliberate. He's reclaiming his power. Stillness doesn't mean you stop moving. It means every move has weight. Every action has clarity. Every moment has depth. Your lower center, just below the navel, is more than anatomy. It is your foundation. It is where your energy gathers and regenerates. When you stay connected to this center, you don't leak your power. You store it. You refine it. You become a vessel instead of a drain. This is not taught in most places, but once you experience it, you'll never want to go back to the scattered way. Your body doesn't lie. It whispers. It signals. It remembers. It holds tension where you hold back truth. It tightens where you hide fear. It aches where your energy is blocked. But it also softens when you align. It flows when you listen. It strengthens when you move with care and awareness. Listening to your body is not weakness. It is wisdom. The world teaches men to chase the urge, to seek the next release, to empty themselves for a moment of relief. But true power doesn't chase the urge. It redirects it. It harnesses it. You are not a slave to the moment. You are a master of momentum. This shift changes how you relate to your entire life, from reaction to response, from impulse to intention. Discipline isn't a war against yourself. It's a collaboration with your deeper self. The part of you that wants quick pleasure isn't your enemy. It's just been misdirected. When you offer it a more powerful channel, it transforms. It becomes your ally, your drive, your fuel. You don't have to conquer yourself. You just have to connect with your deeper direction. Focus isn't just productivity. It's a form of self-respect. It's how you choose where your life goes. When you choose to focus, you say, "This moment matters." You say, "My energy matters." And when you hold that focus, the world begins to bend in your direction. You stop scattering yourself across 1,000 empty tasks. You start building something real. Every inhale is a decision. Every exhale is a release. Your breath isn't just air. It's your steering wheel. It can guide your mind back to center. It can ground your energy when emotions rise. Most men forget to breathe with awareness. They breathe to survive, not to stabilize. But once you realize that breath is control, you stop drifting through your day. You start driving it. Movement is powerful, but stillness reveals who you really are. Stillness shows you the storms within. Stillness invites your body to speak. Stillness lets energy gather rather than scatter. A man who can sit with his own silence can walk into any storm without losing himself. Train yourself to return to stillness. That's where your center lives. The first place energy flows is thought. What you dwell on, you strengthen. When your mind wanders without guidance, your energy leaks. Your focus fractures. But when your mind is disciplined, your energy follows your command. You become the builder of your own state, the architect of your calm, the initiator of your own strength. To hold back your energy does not mean to suppress it. It means to redirect it, to elevate it, to own it. Suppression is fear. Conservation is choice. When you choose to hold your energy, you're not denying yourself. You're honoring yourself. This discipline changes everything. Your mood, your magnetism, your presence. Not every rise of energy needs to be released. It can be stored, it can be built, it can be recycled back into your system. You've been taught to spend it, to chase the quick drop in tension. But what if the rise of energy was an invitation to ascend, to expand, to stay with yourself and rise higher? This is what makes the difference between depletion and lasting depth. Where your awareness goes, structure follows. Where it doesn't, disorder grows. Energy without attention becomes chaos, but attention alone brings clarity. If you feel scattered, don't fight the chaos. Just bring your full presence to one part of yourself. The rest will begin to organize itself around it. This is inner leadership. You are not just the energy, you are also the container of it. And the container shapes the experience. A fragile one overflows, a steady one channels and holds. Your breath, your posture, your mindset, they all shape your container. Strengthen the container and the energy will respect you. Most men seek release before they seek growth. They empty out before they even fill. They spend their energy just trying to feel okay, instead of learning how to use it to grow deeper. But you can do it differently. You can let the energy rise and then expand, not as a chase, but as a conscious act. This path isn't about pressure, it's about preparation. Desire isn't a flaw, it's a signal, a message. You were never meant to shame it. You were meant to understand it, channel it, refine it. You're not broken because you feel more. You're becoming more aware. That's the first step to mastery. This work isn't something you conquer in a weekend. It's something you return to daily. Like water carving stone, small, steady practice rewires your system. The more you return to breath, to stillness, to awareness, the more natural it becomes. Your energy learns to follow the rhythm you set. You become both the source and the guide. When you restrain something, you're not rejecting it. You're concentrating it. Energy isn't lost through discipline, it's focused. Every breath you don't waste, every urge you don't follow blindly, builds your center of gravity. This is how energy becomes power, not by running wild, but by learning to stay. Most men only know two settings: hold it in or let it out. But there's a third option: move it. Take the same fire and guide it up your spine, through breath, through awareness. That's not repression. That's redirection. That's inner alchemy. You can't master energy you refuse to feel. Most men numb out, then wonder why they feel powerless. But every wave you allow yourself to feel, without fleeing, without reacting, is a step towards sovereignty. Mastery isn't control over others, it's awareness of yourself. The moment between breath in and breath out, that's where your power lives. It's in the pause before you react, the pause before you speak, the pause before you chase. Stillness doesn't mean weakness, it means presence. And presence is the mark of true strength. You weren't meant to leak energy at every distraction. You were meant to lead it, to give it a direction. Every moment you bring it back to breath, you're reclaiming what's yours. This isn't suppression, it's refinement. It's remembering that your energy serves you, not the other way around. You are not the flame, you are the fire keeper. You don't have to burn out, flare up, or go cold. You get to tend. You get to decide how hot, how steady, how strong. That's power, not intensity, but consistency. You don't have to prove your strength for it to be real. You don't have to show it off, display it, or let it be seen to know that it's there. Power that's always performing is insecure. But the power you cultivate quietly, that's the kind that lasts. This work isn't about being cold. It's not about rejection or repression. It's about being full, so full you don't need to chase. It's about being rooted in yourself, so deeply that you don't collapse into every craving. It's not denial, it's abundance, held wisely. You won't find this path on billboards, you won't hear it shouted from rooftops. This is subtle work, invisible strength, internal structure. The world may never see it, but you'll feel it, and the people closest to you will feel it too. And that will be enough. You don't need more time, you need more energy, real, cultivated energy. The kind that doesn't burn out, the kind that grows over time. And once you have it, you'll notice everything shifts, your focus sharpens, your decisions get easier, your direction becomes clear. Energy isn't just vitality, it's alignment. Just because something feels intense doesn't mean it has to be over soon. You can experience intensity and still stay centered. You can feel the full heat without letting the flame consume you. This is what you're training for. Not numbness, but mastery. There's strength in wanting closeness. There's strength in craving depth. This work doesn't make you immune to longing or to love. It makes you strong enough to meet those moments without losing yourself in them. Stillness is not a lack. Stillness is fullness without motion. A man who is still isn't doing nothing. He's doing the deepest kind of something. Holding presence, holding charge, holding choice. You don't have to fear your own drive. You don't have to fight your own instincts. You can shape them. You can direct them. You can trust them because you've taken the time to cultivate them. You are not dangerous when you're aware. You're not turning your back on joy. You're not rejecting desire. You're learning how to stretch it, how to deepen it, how to not be ruled by it. This isn't about living with less. It's about discovering how much more is available when you don't chase every spark. The world may rush you, but your body doesn't need to. Slowness isn't laziness. Slowness is luxury. It's in the pause. That sensation grows stronger. It's in the space. That power has room to expand. This isn't just about private moments. It's about how you show up in every room. How you breathe, how you lead, how you listen. Every part of you becomes steadier. Every step you take becomes more grounded. This isn't a technique. It's a transformation. You don't have to prove anything, not to them, not even to yourself. True strength is not in force. It's in restraint. The quiet man, who knows his power, is more commanding than the one who flaunts it. You've felt chaos before. You've been on edge. You've chased. You've burned. This isn't that. This is where power lives, with quiet authority. It's not the kind that surges. It's the kind that stays. This isn't something new inside you. It's something long buried that you're now unearthing. Focus, breath, presence. They've always been there. You're just finally learning how to use them fully. You don't have to chase attention. You don't have to move faster than yourself. The more still you become, the more clearly the world feels you. Stillness is a broadcast. It says, I am here and I am enough. This is not about restriction. It's about devotion. Devotion to your energy, to your focus, to your peace. You are not punishing yourself by practicing. You are respecting yourself. It's not your enemy. It's not resisting you. It's asking you to listen, to partner, to slow down. Every signal it sends is a chance to understand yourself deeper. You may think this is just for you, just behind closed doors. But the truth is, your presence will shift, your confidence will grow. People will notice, even if they can't name it. We're taught that intensity has to look like chaos. But what if peace is the most intense thing of all? The kind of peace that fills the room, that calms others just by being there. You can be that kind of man. You already are. You don't have to fix yourself. You're not broken. This path is not about being perfect. It's about being powerful. And real power, the kind that lasts, comes from presence, not pressure. Welcome back to your center. Welcome back to your breath. Welcome back to yourself. You don't have to keep proving yourself to a world that never really saw you. You don't have to earn your right to rest, or love, or dignity. There's a quieter way to live, a way that begins when you stop chasing and start returning to the power that was always yours. You are not here to perform. You are here to remember. And remembering is the beginning of everything. There is a power in you that doesn't shout, that doesn't ask to be seen, that doesn't need permission. It lives beneath the surface, steady, focused, untouched by chaos. This power doesn't come from proving anything. It comes from presence, from breathing, from being. You don't have to chase anything. To become whole, you already are. All you have to do is stop running from the truth of who you are. The world taught you to grip, to force, to conquer. But your greatest strength has always been your ability to release, to return, to realign. Let go, not because you're giving up, but because you're rising above. Let go, because your energy flows freer. When you're not fighting yourself, power is not performance. It's not noise. It's not spectacle. Power is what remains when everything else is stripped away. It's the way you breathe, through discomfort, the way you choose to stay present, even when it hurts. It's the silence in your spirit that doesn't break. There is a rhythm in your body, ancient, intelligent, quiet. It doesn't beg to be noticed. It simply offers itself. When you learn to listen to it, you return to balance. And when you act from balance, your life begins to move with effortless force. Stillness is not emptiness. It's a fullness without chaos. The masculine stillness within you holds storms without being moved. It listens without reacting. It watches without clinging. And from this stillness, you make decisions that shape destinies. Energy that is scattered feels frantic. Energy that is focused becomes unstoppable. You are not here to be torn in 10 directions. You are here to move with quiet purpose. One breath, one choice, one presence at a time. True transformation is not loud. It doesn't announce itself. It arrives quietly, in your morning breathwork, in your choice to pause, in your decision to hold your center. It happens in the invisible places that only you can feel. That is where you change. That is where you rise. You've spent years trying to be enough, trying to prove, to earn, to fight. But what if the battle was never yours to begin with? What if your worth was always whole, before the striving, before the pressure, before the noise? The man you truly are has nothing to prove. He simply is. Masculine strength isn't harsh. It's not hard for the sake of hardness. It's grounded, aware, intentional. It doesn't dominate, it anchors. It doesn't explode, it contains. This is your strength, the kind that no one can take from you. Your breath is your beginning. It's how you return to yourself, again and again. Noticing it is the first step toward power. Following it is the practice of presence. Mastering it is the beginning of mastering your energy. No one gave you this body. No one gave you this energy. They are yours, sacred, unapologetic. The moment you begin treating them that way, everything changes. Because when you honor your energy, the world begins to honor you too. There is a wisdom in your body that the world never taught you to trust. It speaks in tension, in heat, in stillness. Every sensation is a message. Not a problem to fix, but a signal to feel. When you stop running from the messages, you start decoding your power. Control is not the same as mastery. You can control through force, but mastery moves through harmony. The man who learns to work with his energy, instead of against it, becomes a quiet force of nature. Unshaken, unrushed, unstoppable. Not all growth is visible. Sometimes it looks like resting. Sometimes it looks like waiting. Sometimes it looks like breathing deeper, instead of pushing harder. Don't rush what's becoming rooted. Depth is not a race, it's a return. The masculine path is not about perfection, it's about presence. To be fully here, without hiding, without collapsing, without running, is one of the rarest forms of power. Practice that, live that, and you will not need anyone's permission to feel whole. Energy flows where attention goes. If your thoughts are scattered, so is your power. Focus is not rigid. It's relaxed. It's the still point, inside the moving world, and it's available every time you choose to come back to your breath. Stillness is not the absence of energy. It's the mastery of it. When you can sit without needing distraction, when you can breathe without needing to fix, you are touching the edge of something ancient and powerful, and it is waiting for you to return. Your energy is not broken, it's just been buried. Under noise, under shame, under years of being told who you're supposed to be. But here you are, rediscovering what was always yours. Welcome back. Most men never pause long enough to feel what's true. But you're learning the art of stillness, the power of pause. Because when you feel what's true, you can finally live what's real. And that's when everything changes. You don't have to carry it all. You were never meant to. You're not weak for letting go. You're wise. Strength is knowing what to hold and what to release. And right now, you're releasing what was never yours to begin with. Your breath has been with you since the beginning. It has carried you through chaos, through silence, through becoming. Now it carries you home, into your body, into your center, into your truth. There's a fire inside you that doesn't need to burn anyone to shine. Real power isn't about control, it's about clarity. When you know who you are, you stop trying to prove it. You simply live it. You've been trained to tense, to tighten, to armor up. But energy doesn't flow through armor. It flows through openness. And now, you're practicing the strength it takes to soften. No one taught you how to hold yourself in stillness. But here you are, doing what generations of men before you never dared to do. You are reclaiming the sacred within the simple. The man who can hold his energy without spilling it in reaction becomes magnetic. He doesn't chase. He draws in. He doesn't perform. He radiates. Be that man. There are rhythms in your body, older than thought. When you return to breath, to movement, to grounded awareness, you begin to move with the current instead of against it. And everything begins to open. The world has taught men to numb before they feel, to speak before they listen, to act before they understand. But you are unlearning, unraveling, reclaiming. And in that quiet undoing, you are becoming whole. Power isn't loud, it isn't frantic, it doesn't explain itself. It simply is. And you are learning to embody that calm, grounded presence that changes the entire room without a single word. Your energy doesn't need fixing, it needs remembering. Under all the noise, your clarity remains. And each moment you return to it, you become more of yourself than you've ever been allowed to be. The masculine isn't a mask, it's not something to put on. It's something you are. And when you live from that place, a place of depth, stillness, and strength, you stop needing to chase anything because everything real starts finding you. Stillness is not silence, it's listening. It's where your next step reveals itself, without being forced. And it's in that space, not in the rush, not in the noise, that you begin to walk with clarity. There's a sacred power in not reacting, in letting energy rise, and choosing where to direct it. You're not repressing, you're refining. This is how a man becomes a master of himself. Most people will never see what you're doing. They won't recognize the discipline, the restraint, the quiet power in your presence. And that's okay, because you're not doing it for attention. You're doing it for alignment. You were born into noise, into pressure, into performance. But none of that is you. You are the man underneath all that, the one learning to return to his body, to his breath, to his truth. Every time you breathe through the urge, you teach your body trust. Every time you sit with the tension, you open the door to transformation. This is real strength, not in the flex, but in the quiet containment of your force. You don't have to reject the world, just stop letting it shape you. Let the silence guide you. Let your own energy be your source of validation. This is the beginning of true sovereignty. When you start living from your energy, you stop trying to manage everyone else's. You don't need to fix her emotions, or chase his approval, or prove your worth. You just remain, centered, grounded, unshakable. They told you masculinity was a problem, but the truth is, unconscious masculinity is the problem. What you're building is conscious, present, rooted in love, not fear. And that changes everything. You're not here to impress, you're here to embody. To take everything you've been through and alchemize it into power. Every breath, every choice, every quiet return to center is building the man you were always meant to be. This path is not about being perfect. It's about being present. Not controlling everything, but being fully here for whatever arises. In that presence, you find your freedom. You don't have to be loud To be powerful, you don't have to be aggressive. To be masculine, you just have to be real. Here, breathing, awake. And that is enough to move mountains. You are taught to chase, to pursue pleasure, to escape pain, to move faster and faster. But healing starts when you stop running and finally turn inward to meet yourself. This isn't about controlling desire, it's about honoring it. Not acting on impulse, but listening deeper to what that energy is trying to tell you. You become more powerful the moment you stop misusing your power. Stillness is a skill, and you're learning it. Every moment you choose to breathe, instead of react, you're practicing mastery. This is how men evolve, not in noise, but in still, strong presence. There is a fire in you, not one that burns everything down, but one that forges you. Let it shape your patience. Let it temper your strength. Let it light the path inward. You've been taught to spend your energy, to release it, to waste it. But what if you learn to hold it, to circulate it, to live from it? That's the kind of man the world is waiting for. Your body is not a machine to be pushed. It's a temple to be honored. The more you listen, the more it teaches you. Strength isn't force, it's alignment, it's presence, it's trust. Your silence is not emptiness, it's fullness without noise. This is what real men carry, not chaos, but clarity. The world doesn't need more dominance, it needs more groundedness. This is your path now, one built in breath, in choice, in quiet strength. You're not trying to become someone else. You're returning to who you really are. And in that return, you are powerful beyond measure. There's nothing weak about being inward. There's nothing passive about reflection. The deepest men are not loud. They're tuned. And their presence reaches deeper than words ever could. You were told to chase women. You were never told to understand your own energy. But now you see, your energy is not for chasing. It's for building. It's for becoming. It's for guiding your life forward. Every breath you hold with awareness is a return to power. Every moment you move with intention is a step deeper into mastery. This is the quiet revolution of the modern man. Power isn't taken, it's remembered. When you stop pretending, stop hiding, stop rushing, you begin to remember. And it changes everything. This path doesn't ask for perfection, it asks for honesty. When you're honest with yourself, even your mistakes teach you. Even your stumbles become part of your structure. There's a rhythm inside you. It's ancient, it's real, it's steady. When you live in sync with it, you stop grasping, you stop reacting, you just move aligned. You were told to man up, but no one told you how to rise in alignment. You rise when you listen, when you soften your defenses without giving up your strength. That's power. You don't need to be a hero, you just need to be here.